street law presentation on gender-based violence. Before we begin, I'd like to invite my group members to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Khan Maharaj.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Ashwari Singh.
Good day, I am Ritika Mani.
Hi everyone, my name is Kayla David.
Hi everybody, I'm Wasim Imran. Hello ladies, my name is Salman Ravidaria.
So, just a disclaimer before we begin. We are law students, not legal representatives, and we understand that many of you have been through difficult experiences. While we cannot provide professional legal advice, we do want to be able to assist you for the legal resources that you may need. So, Street Law is a program that brings legal education into communities in a simple and practical way. So our goal is to empower you with knowledge of our legal rights and responsibilities in terms of gender-based violence so that you can access the resources that you may need. I will now hand over to my group member Nicole, who will explain what gender-based violence is.
Any act of gender-based violence that results in or is likely to result in physical, sexual, or psychological abuse or harm or suffering to women, including threats of such acts, coercion, or arbitrary deprivation of liberty or freedom, whether occurring in public or private life. The forms of domestic violence are physical, sexual, psychological, economic, and verbal. We will now be playing a video based on gender-based violence.
She suffered tactical burns after being set alight to paraffin by her then boyfriend in 2010. She recalls how her life was ruined by a person she loved.
Poured a 5 liter of paraffin. Then he locked me inside the house. Then when I asked why is he doing this to me, he didn't respond. He just closed the door and left me inside burning. I'm asking for forgiveness. I don't know what we have done wrong. But guys, please forgive us. Forgive us.
Jamba is the face of extreme gender-based violence. The perpetrator is still free. He faces no charges and has never been arrested. Jamba says when she returned to her village after months in hospital, her ex-boyfriend had spread rumors that she had attempted suicide.
I didn't open up the case because no one believed me. Because he has already spread their lies. He's still there. I want the government to play its role.
It's a desperate cry for help.
Confronting the scourge of abuse, rape, gender-based violence, femicide, multi-murders, and uprooting traditional practices that are harmful requires a paradigm shift, and that is the declaration of a state of emergency.
Non-governmental organizations say the victim will be assisted to open a case against the perpetrator.
In the process of the Eastern Cape, I'm proud to say that we have a very strong committee that looks at issues of gender-based violence and femicide. We will assist her. We will rope in all the relevant structures in the criminal justice system so that she finds peace and closure.
Police say the matter will be investigated and no stone left unturned.
The law allows for the victim of this particular crime to pursue the matter and open the case at the police station for investigation purposes. Furthermore, crucial evidence such as medical documents from the hospital where the victim was being treated and possible witnesses would be necessary for our investigation to be successful.
Maybe that take the room. Sibola says she lives in a constant fear. She has been the target of a second attack by faceless perpetrators 2 years after the first attack. This woman epitomizes the suffering of untold stories. She simply wants this untenable crime prosecuted to its fullest. All of the business episodes in Tata.
Okay, we will now be discussing the different types of gender-based violence. The first one is physical abuse, which is any intentional act causing injury or trauma to another by way of bodily contact. An example is when a parent slaps a child for misbehaving. The second type of abuse is emotional abuse, which is the use of words, gestures, or actions to damage another person's self-esteem, emotional well-being, or sense of identity. An example are name-calling, insults, threats, or humiliation. The third type of abuse is psychological abuse, which is the use of psychological tactics to control or manipulate another, such as stalking or harassing or putting you under pressure. The fourth type is verbal abuse, which is the use of words to attack, insult, or demean another. An example is also name-calling, yelling, or insults. Lastly, economic abuse, which is the use of financial control to limit another's access to resources or independence. An example is when a partner refuses to pay for your child's school fees until you stop paying out the difference. Thank you. I'll now be handing over to Pooja, who will discuss the scope of gender-based violence.
Gender-based violence covers many different relationships, and today I will be providing examples of these. First is married or previously married partners. So a wife could be subject to repeated physical abuse from her husband, and even after divorce, he can continue to harass and stalk her, causing emotional and psychological harm. This shows that even after a relationship ends, abuse can occur in an economic, physical, or psychological way. The second is cohabiting relationships. So a woman that lives with her boyfriend could be subject to threats of violence, intimidation, or sexual harassment, and living together could worsen the abuse because of the power imbalances in the relationship. The third is parental relationships. A man may use his custody of a child in order to threaten a woman to agree with him, and this shows how emotional manipulation often occurs in gender-based violence, often using the child as leverage. The fourth is family members. So a girl may be subject to physical abuse from her brother or father, and this often leads to cases such as forced marriage or honor-based violence. Next is engaged, dating, or customary relationships. Many cultures believe that men are superior, and they justify the abuse by saying that it is acceptable in their culture. Then there's living in the same residence. So a woman who lives with a male housemate may be subject to harassment or threats of violence, even though there is no romantic relationship present. So these basically show that gender-based violence can occur in any relationship, whether it is romantic or not. Thank you. So I will now hand over to my other group members who will be talking about the prevalence of gender-based violence.
Population-based surveys have revealed extremely high levels of intimate partner violence, referred to as IPV, and sexual violence, referred to as SV, with IPV being the most prevalent form of offense. Men are generally the culprits of both intimate partner as well as sexual violence, whilst women and children are the primary victims. In 2009, over half of all women, that is a percentage of 56% women, were killed by an intimate partner. Between 25% and 40% of South African women have experienced sexual or physical IPV in their lifetime.
Nearly 50% of women report experiencing emotional or economic abuse from intimate partners. Rape prevalence in South Africa is estimated between 12% and 28% of women reporting lifetime experiences. Between 28% and 37% of adult males admit to having raped a woman.
Non-partner sexual violence is also very common in the country, but reporting to the police is unfortunately very low. In Gauteng, only 1 in 13 women have reported non-partner rape, and only 1 in 25 rapes were reported to the police. Gang rape is also unfortunately very highly prevalent in the country. Most men who commit rape do so for the first time as teenagers, and almost all who have raped someone do so by their mid-20s. And now we'll be handing over to my colleagues who will talk about the root causes of gender violence.
So there are 3 root causes of gender-based violence: economic dependency, cultural norms, and gender inequality. So economic dependency is when a woman depends on a man for financial support. This then leads to him having control and authority over her, and a woman might feel trapped in the often used to justify this abusive behavior. Some religious texts are interpreted to say that women must endure the suffering in order to be seen as good wives. Then there's gender inequality, and this is when society views men and women as different, that men are seen as superior to women. So while these may make gender-based violence more common, understanding them and knowing about them can be a step towards breaking the cycle. Thank you. I will now hand over to my colleagues who will talk about the side of gender-based violence.
Some signs of gender-based violence from the perspective of both the abuser as well as the victim. One of the signs on the form of the abuser would be blame shifting. This is when the abuser shifts his blame or his behavior on the victim, whereby he or she believes that she is the reason for the abuser's behavior. Public mistreatment. This is when the abuser would mistreat the victim in public, whereby he may shout at her or humiliate her in front of people that are unknown to her. Forced sexual activities. This is when the abuser forces the victim to engage in sexual activities without her consent, to which the victim complies with due to the fear of what would happen if she didn't. Unpredictable temper. This may range from a severe to a moderate temper, whereby the abuser may become angry to such an extent that he begins to abuse or verbally abuse the victim.
Other very important signs of gender-based violence to look out for is physical harm or threats. This can range from slapping, kicking, punching, or threatening to do those things to you if you don't do what they say. Invasive surveillance, control over your movements, and isolation from family or friends. This is when the abuser in the situation doesn't allow you to visit your family or hang out with your friends. They're constantly looking over your shoulder, trying to see what you're doing, who you're talking to, and such. Financial control. This is when the abuser in the situation does not allow the victim to enjoy their own money, takes control over the household income and profits. Excessive jealousy and possessiveness. This ties in very closely with invasive surveillance and control over your movements, in the sense that they are constantly checking who you're talking to, where you are, and they're always suspicious that you may be doing something that you are not supposed to be doing.
So some signs that are from the victim's perspective are such as fear, where the victim is scared of the abuser's next move, such as the next abuse or next physical abuse that is going to occur. Walking on eggshells could mean that they're always being extra careful on what they say or do to avoid making the abuser angry and provoking them further. Self-doubt is where they are questioning their own abilities or worth, and they think that they are not good enough or of how they are treated. Self-blame is thinking that the abuser is your fault and they are the reason for their mistreatment. And questioning their sanity is feeling like they are going crazy, or like they can't trust their own thoughts, as they are manipulated by the abuser in believing what the abuser thinks is right. Emotional numbness is where they feel detached and unable to feel emotions because the pain is so overwhelming, and they cry constantly where they can't cry to the next point.
Now we'll hand over to our colleagues who will present your legal rights and protections.
So, international laws. All national laws follow international laws, which protect you from abuse. These laws help keep you safe and afford you the right to help and seek justice.
Hey guys, Salman again. I'm speaking about national laws. These are the laws in South Africa. So the first law, the most important one, is the Constitution. The Constitution is the Republic of South Africa. The Constitution says that everybody has the right to be treated equally with respect. It also says that you have the right to be safe from any kind of violence. The second law is the Domestic Violence Act. So if somebody is hurting you, the one way you can prevent them from hurting you is obtaining a protection order. So in this sense, police, they have a duty to help you, and the protection order helps you from any forms of abuse. This could be with anything, physical abuse, or things where somebody's controlling your money or anything. And then thirdly, it is the Sexual Offences Act. So this act protects one from rape for sexual abuse. It ensures one has support, and the police and the court are required to take action. My colleague Austin now will be discussing the remaining laws in South Africa.
Another act that we can utilize is the Trafficking Act. This law protects you from being forced into bad situations such as human trafficking, helps victims gain safety. And lastly, the Harassment Act. If someone is abusing you or harassing you, they don't form part of your household or family, you can get a protection order under the law to make them stop. My colleague and I will be discussing what's divorce and maintenance. A Rule 43 application in the High Court provides urgent interim relief during contested divorce proceedings, which usually takes years to be finalized. Its counterpart in the original court is the Rule 58 application. The primary purpose for the Rule 43 application is to assist the financially dependent spouse by providing the following interim orders, such as maintenance for the minor child and spouse, contributions towards legal fees and fair litigation, interim protection and care for the minor child, and interim custody arrangements. I'd like to hand it over to someone who will discuss maintenance.
Okay, so now maintenance. So in the context of divorce, after divorce, maintenance comes in, and it's important for everyone to know that both parents are equally responsible for the financial needs of their children. This includes food, school fees, medical care, and also it's also important to know that in an event where an ex-partner refuses to pay any form of maintenance or anything, you can go to the court, ask for help, and you can apply a maintenance order. And one way to go through this is you can always go to legal aid. They will support you in this process, and they will also give you advice on what needs to be done.
Sorry, what is the garnishing order?
Sorry?
Garnishing order?
Garnishing order.
I think it goes with the maintenance, but what is it?
To be honest, I'm not too sure about it, but we can go with it.
You find out and let me know, because someone told us that you applied for maintenance, but you need to apply also for a garnishing order. So if the person doesn't pay money, they can deny it. Find out for me and let me know, okay?
I would like to remind you that the protection order is the most powerful tool in the arsenal that can protect you, your child, and yourself against abusive situations. It's my colleagues will need to show you how to put in a form to apply for protection orders, so you'll know exactly what to do and use it. I would like to hand it over to my colleague Shari Singh, who will discuss the helplines.
These are some of the important helplines and support systems that you can use to report abuse as well as seek assistance. An extensive list will be provided via a booklet at the end of our presentation. I would like to call my colleagues Austin Iman and Salman to speak on the empowering of women to take action.
So, empowering women to take action. I will be giving you guys a few tips. The first thing is your personal safety, which is the most important thing of everything else. So, it is important to firstly make a safety plan. So, you need to know what to do and where to go if you are in danger. And the second point is that you need to always stay connected. So, you need to always have a group of trusted friends or family members to know and understand the situation. So tomorrow if something happens, you can always rely on them. And the last point, one of the most important ones, is maybe getting an app on your cell phone, or just telling somebody, keeping them updated with your whereabouts in terms of your location. Even on WhatsApp, you can always share your live location, your current location. And Austin will take over and he will be discussing self-advocacy and community support.
So strengthening law enforcement is essential to ensuring the individual is safe and confident in reporting abuse and that it will not lead to victim blaming. Police and legal professionals need to be trained to manage GBV matters again. Creating safe spaces like shelters and anonymous platforms enables me to seek help and without fear of further violence or stigma. support each other by building a group of women who can listen, offer help, and stand together against violence. Share information, talk about resources like shelters and legal aid, so everyone knows where to get help. I would like to hand back over to Pooja Maharaj, who will explain the garnishing order.
Rose, just based on research, it's basically an order you can attach. It's usually done for debts, but it can be done for maintenance. So what it does is the order attaches to the debtor. So if a father owes maintenance for a child, you attach the order, and what it does is it automatically deducts the maintenance amount from his salary and pays it to the mother. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Luca? You heard now what's that? Maybe you must explain to her.
Thank you so much for listening to this. We will now move on to the interactive part of our presentation, which is a Kahoot quiz. So basically what it is we'll display a code on the screen and you can use your phones to log in. But if you don't have a phone, we do have printed out copies of it in pens and paper, so you can play along with the screen. So do you guys want the printed copies?
Yeah, I think the pretty cup.
Guys, why don't you hand that out at the time?
You were more in the bottom of previously. Do you need a register? No. Okay. We need to do one register. I'll get that now.
You guys don't need to answer it now. We'll all start like together because they'll be like. Okay, is everyone ready? Okay, so we'll start now.
Okay, when someone tries to manipulate you or your behavior with money, what type of abuse is it? Is it verbal, emotional, physical, or economic? Or it's economic.
Next question. When a woman confronts her abuser about the behavior and the abuser blames her for it, what type of GDP is this? Is it blame shifting, public mistreatments, or sexual activities or unpredictable temper.
Blame shifting.
That's the correct answer.
Okay, the next question, it's true and false. True or false? Domestic violence can only occur between married individuals.
Okay, the next question is, where can you report gender-based violence in South Africa? To tell us care centers, social media, hospitals, or all of the above?
All of the above.
The answer is all of the above.
So the final question is, what is an early warning sign of abuse? Is it threats and control, compliments and gifts, financial independence, or none of the above? That's correct. That's correct.
All correct, thanks to Belinda.
Okay, thank you so much for playing the Kahoot with us. I'll now invite my colleague Ashwarya to talk about.
Presentation, we are going to be showing you what a domestic violence form looks like. It's referred to as a DV form, what it looks like and how to fill out important parts of it. Each of my team members will come around showing you guys one of the forms. And if you do have any questions, please do feel free to ask anything regarding how to fill it out, where you would sign it.
Okay, so we all go down. You understand?
Yeah. So this is basically what the form looks like, and you can get it at in court or police station.
You can get these at court and police station. So like the main page, you fill in your names and surnames.
Did you get this from the internet?
Yeah, this is easily accessible. The interim protection order you can't access like this. You have to go to court and the court official gives you 2 days.
Yeah, that's what we did. We picked up this from the net and then when we went there they said we can't.
You
There's a new
can.
one.
Yeah, this is the new one. I went on the later site. You go and look for it. So you go there, you look for the site and you update it and you look for form 6. They are different. This is the new one. It will tell you something here.
I know this computer thing.
Yeah.
Just making copies.
Yes.
This is
Also there, or you
You can give it to me, I'll keep it.
you okay.
They all have done this.
They are done this. Okay.
Yeah, but you can give Brenda one and Lily. So they can keep a copy also. We got, remember we made a lot of copies and then they said it's not valid, please
Regularly, so
update
you
it.
need to check the site. You just go search protection order form and it will come up, but you look for the latest on the government site. Yeah.
And this is like the types of, so basically just check the
Let's go in.
additional conditions. This is like
when you're filling in this form also. Sometimes they do need them for inspection audits just to see and it's like, you know, their details and something person because their ID numbers and stuff. But here, we just need to know the user ID and then the account. That's all.
But again, it does get updated.
Like this is part 2.
Part 2. Because the other, what is the part 1? Yeah, what's part 1?
Part 1. That I think is affidavit.
Oh,
Yes. When you give your story, you give your story and your side of the thing, that's when you submit your affidavit. And then either the police officer or the court official will ask you, if you go to court or if you go to the police station, they'll ask you to describe your events and the circumstances that the behavior or what happened here, and you give the full story.
And then when you receive that affidavit,
You will get this. Do you have any more questions on the document?
So when you're filling this, you fill it yourself, the partner don't have to be.
They don't have to be present for this
When
one.
you're filling this.
Yes.
you fill that out on your own.
You fill it in and then you will serve it. You can print it out.
Oh, you fill it in part of it.
Yes. And if you do need guidance and support to fill it in, then go to a court official or a law firm or someone who can help you. Law firm, like someone in law.
The UKZN,
We're going to give you helplines actually hand out. We have UKZN law clinic. We have even hope and customers having us earlier. We have there's a whole lot of helplines. There's shelters, support system and everything. And they'll be able to get, they can guide you in everything.
because they know about protection orders and all the different orders.
They'll
They
even
can
help you access the latest one.
Yeah. And they'll help you fill it out as well.
Yeah. No problem.
We have a register then, which we can all fill out that register, regular period. And then we also can give you a copy.
Thank you so much.
No, if you fill it out, you go to the court, you stamp it, you take it straight to the police station. After the same day they can sign it. You don't have to wait. Is that online serving of protection orders valid or?
The online serving of protection order, is it valid?
Isn't they said you can fill out that form online and then?
Better to go to the court to serve it because it's most likely you don't know whether the girl gets served or not online because sometimes they could keep it on a hold and stuff like that. If you really want yourself to be heard and them to actually really go through, it's best to be there in person.
So gender-based violence is an issue that affects many people, and we hope today that we've empowered you with the knowledge to stay safe and access the resources that you may need. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I would now like to open the floor to questions. If you have any concerns, any questions whatsoever about this, and if we don't know the answer, we could help you with our research, but some questions we are not in tune with, but we can help you out as much as possible.
Understood protection order, I didn't remember about it.
Do you have any other further questions?
No, thank you so much. That was very interesting.
Sure. Okay, I will now hand it back over to Shwari. She will be handing out the helplines now.
Oh. Yes,
these are all good you can say towards with
Yeah.
education.
Those, but we give those and give kindness. See, she said we can do it.
Even when they phone in the one space,
Yes.
some can give another.
Yes. So we put it on the white side.
Yeah, on the note.
Yeah. Because you know, people are happy for me.
Hi, so I also have some evaluation forms to hand out just about feedback for the presentation. So if you could please fill this out and get back to me.
36 minutes. 36.
You just take these pictures and raise them.
Yes, please. They will just send me some copies, so thank you.
You're welcome.
So I can stop it.
She doesn't